Amazing. So good morning, guys. I'm just really excited you've joined me. And we might have Kendra from the team popping on as well. So I want to keep this as short as possible so we can actually work through the plan. So later on today, I'm going to go, actually, I'm just going to switch the view. There we go. So later on today, I'm going to add the actual full how-tos and the video that we've created onto the blog. So if you want to go back to that, you definitely can. Did you both get the PDF that I emailed out with the actual plan this morning?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. And if you do fill it out after and we have it in Canva. So if you use Canva and you want that template, we can give it to you, or I'm totally happy to like just whip it up, put your colors in it if you want to send me your info as well, and then you can print it. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to, let's see if it lets me share my screen, because last time Zoom gave me some trouble here. Let's see. Let me know. Okay, are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so this is the article we're still editing that's going to go up on the blog. But there's a few really quick things I want to go over as they relate to the template. So there's a story that I'll tell in the article later about my crazy 40+ page marketing plan that like literally never gets looked at. I don't know if either of you have one of those or have ever attempted one. We set up this challenge. I don't think it was last year. I think it was 2018. I put together this, everyone always would ask us to either help them put together their plan or give them templates. So I literally spent like weeks. I scoured the internet for different templates. I combined them all, reworded stuff, made this like crazy, awesome, robust thing. People went through it. It was a 10-week challenge. Everybody said they liked it, but then they never used it because it was so long and it's so detailed. So it helped them get clear on a lot of items, but it wasn't usable in the long run. So lesson learned. It was kind of embarrassing to go through all that work, but we all make those mistakes, right? So last week I had hopped on a call, and if anyone, well, Claire, you might be familiar with Dustin Woodhouse. So he's a really successful mortgage broker locally to us. And I think he's a president now of Mortgage Architects. And he ran a session and it was his one-page marketing plan for brokers. And I thought, okay, this is totally adaptable for any small business. So I kind of dissected the pieces and this is kind of where we are. So it really revolves around two sections. So you sort of have your income goal, which you break down. And, oh, I see someone else joining us. Hi, Sally Ann. And then you have your goals, objectives, and actions. It's really simple. It's not getting into all of like the super nitty gritty of your strategies. It's sort of this high level plan that's going to help you make decisions. And Sally Ann, I know you're joining us just a couple minutes late. I am recording this, so I'll send you the video if you missed the first little part. So the first important thing is to kind of know the difference between a goal and an objective as it relates to your marketing. Those often get really confused. And the simplest way to differentiate between the two is just think of your goal as your sort of lofty, big picture thing. So I have an example for mine. My goal might say, in 2021, my goal is to increase brand awareness. Pretty basic, right? The objective is going to take it one step further. So I'm going to have something that relates to that goal, something like, and I have this in the article that I'll share later, I'll increase my Instagram followers by 20%. So it's more specific, and that does support that main goal. Then you're going to add in the action or the strategy, which would equal your result, which was your original goal. So as a kind of more concrete example, I might say in 2021, I will grow my email subscriber list to 2,000 contacts by showing up consistently every single week with something to share that will provide value. I will grow the list itself by optimizing my website to collect contact information. So it's not going into like how I'm going to edit my website and exactly what I'm going to say in these emails, but it's a blanket statement to say, this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to do it. Does that sort of make sense, I think? Awesome. So I'll open the one-page template in a second. I just wanted to scroll down and show you guys one more. There's the story about the 40-page marketing plan that never gets looked at. And it legitimately never gets looked at. My team makes fun of me all the time. Like, haha, remember you spent all that time on that marketing plan we don't use? So crazy. This part's really key, that it's all about focus and consistency. So for any small business owner, it does not matter what industry you're coming from. If you don't focus on a few key items and be consistent with them, it doesn't go anywhere. We see this a lot with our social media clients. They kind of like dabble, they pull in, they pull out. And if you don't stay with it for long enough, then you don't see a result. And that's sort of true for any piece of your marketing. That's not to say if something is costing you too much money and you know it's not working that you shouldn't dump it. That's that's obviously something that you should look at. However, if you have too many pieces you're trying to focus on at one time, it's really tough to make it work. So that's why we've outlined the one-page template as like 3 key goals and objectives with actions that you're going to focus on. And this is only because we hear it from our broker clients, we had to add it because we think it's funny. Stop making getting leads your number 1 goal because it is so vague and it's really, really tough to sort of have that as your overarching. I mean, we could say that too, right? I want to get more leads into my business, but it has to be more specific in how you're going to do it. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you're not getting anywhere, even if you are. So an example of that, this might be applicable to you, Claire, in real estate, because that's something we hear a lot from mortgage and real estate. So instead of saying getting more leads, what you actually mean is generating more conversations, right? More people to talk to that might use you for their services. So we would take that a step further. So we would say the goal is generate more conversations. The objective, we might say, I want to talk to 10 new contacts each month. And I have marketing here, but we could pretend that's, real estate or mortgages or whatever that is. And the action or strategy, you could say, by asking specific questions on my Instagram stories to elicit messages and replies. Just an example, but it's sort of like how you're going to go about trying to get these conversations, which is, as we know with social, always the tricky piece, right? Creating that 2-way dialogue. So I'll send this out after. It might be helpful for you to have kind of examples of different marketing goals. You probably have some in mind already for your own business already, but there will be some on the sheet, increase brand presence, increase website traffic, wow your existing customers. There's just different things you might want to kind of pick. And pro tip, of course, don't pick them all. You can't pick them all anyways because we only put 3 spots on your template, but you're welcome to add more. And okay, so I'm going to jump in to the actual template. And Sally Ann, I think maybe you missed that very first part, but I offered that if you have this all filled out after the call or in the next couple of weeks, if you do want to send us your information, we're happy to put it into this template with whatever your branding looks like so you can print it. Or we can just share the Canva template if you use Canva. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top with the revenue goal. This is pretty straightforward depending on, I guess, what your service is. And it's about kind of taking an average. So I'm going to do, and I know you won't see it on the screen, so I'm going to write it out instead. So my income goal, I'm going to pretend by the end of, actually let's get a calculator out, 2021. I did have this math done, but I didn't write it down. 20. Pretty lofty for us because we sit around like 10,000 a month in revenue, give or take. I mean, sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's less. So we're going to decide, and you can do this backwards if you want to, if you don't want to figure out by the year. I do mine monthly and then the year. So if I say I want to make 20,000 a month in revenue times 12, so 240,000 would be my income and revenue, not net, my gross income goal for 2021. The average client or sale will obviously differ. Sabrina, I don't know. Sabrina, are you an agency as well? I know I recognize your name.
Yeah.
You are, yeah. Okay, so you're going to have a similar to me. Your average sale or client, like it obviously kind of varies. So what I do is I take like some of our clients are 500 a month, some of them are 1,000, some of them are hourly. I just lump it all together and take an average of what our client is. So you might be the same. So for me, if I say I want 20,000 a month, this isn't our real numbers, but to make the math simple, I'm gonna pretend there are $1,000 a month clients. So I know I need 20 of those clients every month to sustain that income goal. Because I know that for us, and yours will probably be the same, Sabrina, because I know that our revenues, it's ongoing. So different for Claire, right? Because you're gonna have a client, you're going to get a commission, and then you'll work with them hopefully in the future, but it's not an ongoing piece of revenue like Sabrina and I would have in an agency. So yours is actually, I think, a little easier to calculate because you just have to say, I need X amount of clients a month based on an average commission in the market you're in. For me, I have to figure out, well, I'm not going to necessarily get 20 new clients right off the bat in January. So I kind of, instead of sticking to, I want to make $240,000 a year, that would be very discouraging if I wasn't hitting that right off the bat. I sort of make my goal by the end of 2021, I want to be hitting these $20,000 months. Is that sort of how you're doing yours, Sabrina?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sort of, yeah. I know not the numbers might not be the same. Anyway, that's sort of how we reverse engineer ours. So, and Sally Ann, let me know if you have any questions as well. I'm totally happy to take those live. What is your business, Sally Ann?
I'm an artist.
You're an artist. Okay. So it still would apply, I guess, like an average sale. It might vary a lot more for you though.
Yeah, it would vary. And the second option that you said about it wouldn't be ongoing revenue. So it's just more one-offs. It might be repeat later in the year, but not as much, not like a recurring.
Yeah.
Unless it was like a membership group or a course.
Yes, makes sense. Yeah, it's still, I guess the revenue goal for you still applies, big picture. It's just the way you break it down will be a little different. And if you need some help one-on-one working with that later, please let me know. We're happy to jump in. So that's the first part. I know, pretty basic, right? Wow, so flashy. So we're going to move on to the next piece, the next only piece aside from notes, which is your goals, objectives, and strategies. So I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to list out their goals and objectives, and then I'm going to be here to help you come up with maybe some strategies to support those if you don't have them in mind. Now, when I go through and do these for myself, sometimes those marketing, the goals and objectives overlap so much, or they seem like the same. So because I'm used to thinking in terms of like the specifics, I actually don't look at the marketing goals right off the bat. I focus on the objectives and the strategies, and then I just put in what the goal would be at the end. So it doesn't matter how you come to the end result as long as you kind of fill out the pieces. So for me, and if you guys want to share yours, I would love it, because then we can all kind of help you come up with some ideas. But I'll go through mine first. So my objectives, it's actually one of them is what I had for this year, which was my 2,000 subscribers goal on my list, which we were pretty close to. We were around 1,600, and then I purged over 1,000 people because there were so many people not opening our emails, and it was like destroying our open rates, and we were paying for subscribers that literally like grabbed a freebie and then just never wanted to engage. So anyways, we're redoing that goal, but with the 2,000 subscribers, and then our strategy or action is going to be what we do right now, which is our weekly Monday morning marketing update plus one new lead magnet per month. And I guess we have to turn that into a goal, increasing well, it's technically going to fall under awareness. So that's my number one. Does anyone else want to share if they've come up with anything for their number one?
I'm struggling actually.
Yeah.
So I am a realtor in Port Moody. For brand objection, I'm just not sure. Like, I guess the things that I would like to recognize are, I do have a brand.
Yeah.
I don't advertise on bent.
Like the typical, yeah.
Yeah, I don't advertise typically. When I first got into real estate, I did quite well off of my own personal Facebook page, just by being completely authentic with my friends and family, and like they knew if I passed my test, they knew if I whatever. So
did you get away from that, Claire? I know that we've done like your
sorry?
I know that we've done like your separate, your business page stuff, we've helped you, but your personal, did you step away from doing that piece?
I don't usually use my personal page now for real estate. And it's funny because like that year that I did, I made $40,000 off of my friends.
Yeah.
From high school that I didn't even kiss in grade 9, like that I didn't even really hang out with. So it's just, I wonder if I'm going about it the wrong way. I wonder if I should kind of go back to basics or.
Yeah, I think for you, maybe that is really key. I mean, if you're just hearing you say that it worked for you, was there a reason you stopped doing it? Was it too much time? Was it?
I think it was, it's, you know, a bit frowned upon to use your personal page as a realtor anyways, as as a way to market. And I don't know if I want to go that route completely, but I think maybe I need to learn how to keep on like just gently mentioning once in a while on that page too.
Maybe it's more like sharing, like I know we were talking about your group, the Port Moody Community
Corner.
Yeah. And sort of figuring out like, how do I share in there what I do without like,
Yes.
pushing the sales all the time. It's maybe it's more of a mix. So like on the Empty Desk business channels, for example, and those of you who maybe know me well, I'm locked out of Facebook. Go figure. The Facebook agency girl who literally can't access Facebook, but I can access my business Instagram account. And what I do there is, yes, there's the business branded stuff, which is always, the purple and different things that people recognize the actual physical brand. But I include a lot of family stuff. And some people are comfortable with that, some people aren't. But showcasing that like relatable piece on the business channels really helps me. And those are the things that seem to get the engagement, whether it's like I'm out for a walk with baby Daphne, or here's me dropping Huxley off at preschool, or whatever. Those are the things that people seem to really resonate with. Even though I'm like blowing my brains out coming up with marketing tips, it's not, they see it, but they don't always care, right? They go back to that when they need it. It's me that they're kind of relating to. So for you, and you're so well known in the community, Claire, especially with all the Rotary stuff, like maybe it's just sharing, like go back to being yourself. You don't have to always talk about real estate. Just do your thing, be you. And then every once in a while you can sneak in maybe a testimonial or share something that had been posted on your business page that was important, but like sporadically, right?
So for marketing objectives then, would that be just brand recognition, content research?
So your goal I would have as, increase personal brand awareness. That would be your goal. And under your objectives, it could be, so this is where you get to choose if it's, growing your friends list or increasing how many people see your posts. Like it's the more specific piece.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think what makes the most sense for you, knowing what you do. I would say the objective is more about just creating consistency because I know you're learning it yourself.
Yeah.
So maybe it's as simple as, posting something personal 3 times a week. Like it can be that easy.
Okay.
And then when you want to break it down further to the strategies, you could, talk about what networks you're going to do that on, if you're going to use certain tools, that kind of thing.
Okay. Thank you.
And you can leverage, no problem. You can leverage the stuff that we've got in your quote unquote homework from your Pick My Brain session, the tools that we showed you how to use.
Thank you.
Amazing. Did you come up with one, Sally Ann, that you want to share?
So I've only been doing this for a few months full time, so it's all very new to me. But my main object, I've got a really good following on Instagram, but it's mainly other artists, fellow artists. And at the moment, I don't have an immediate plan to do any workshops or courses. So I feel like that audience there is mostly for that. So my main objective, I need to connect with art buyers. And that's huge. So where do I start? I think I can start by trying to increase my email subscriber list, because at the moment I've got about 100. So I need to increase that. And I guess really it's driving traffic to my website, because as I say, the majority is on Instagram, so it's hard always to get people over. So at the moment I'm trying to sort of snazzy up my website to keep people there. What I've found works on Instagram for me is just like you've just been saying to Claire, to be really personal. This year I just became really open about my journey and shared a lot of like behind the scenes stuff, and it was really engaging, and I managed to grow my following by like 7,000 just over a few months. It was amazing, really. But now I need to do the same, but for art buyers, which I think will be more challenging because there's not that connection there. Like on Instagram, it's easy to share your processes, whereas, so, and maybe we'll do that in Facebook, because my Facebook page I've not concentrated on that at all. So it's only about 300 or so followers.
Yeah, the Facebook page is it's harder to grow organically for sure than Instagram. But yeah, leverage the content you're putting on Instagram if you're not already kind of cross.
Yeah, I do that. It's just
Yeah.
it doesn't have the pickup on Facebook. And also for me, I think YouTube's important. I need to start a YouTube channel of processes, but again, I think that's going to be more artist led. It will be process led, so it won't touch on that goal of the art buyers as much.
What kind of person would typically buy your art? Like, where would they go to look for other pieces? Like, do they go to Etsy? Where do we find stuff?
I just don't know, because up to now I've only really sold to other artists. It's other artists that have bought my work, which is a real compliment, but it doesn't help me on who the customer really is.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe one of your goals or objectives is like in the research phase, like to find, maybe it's to partner up with someone, I use the term partner loosely, I guess, but someone else who's in a similar situation or even like just a little bit ahead, and see if you can, where did they find their buyers, someone who's willing to help you in your space. I recently reached out, there's a girl, Claire, you might know her actually, Jennifer Colbrook. Anyway, she's another agency locally. And I said, do you want to be like my biz bestie? It's so nerdy, but I wanted to find someone that I can just talk to weekly that's in the same space, and we can just share like what's working and what's not working. It's so powerful because I don't know if you guys are like me, you jump on all these different trainings, but if you don't have people that are like you or doing what you're doing, it's really tough to kind of pick the pieces out, right? I know, Claire, you were talking about an experience like with a business coach who was great, but then it would kind of go like, the conversation would go sideways.
Conversation would go a different direction.
Yeah.
Dan, where are you located?
I'm in the UK on the southeast coast.
Okay. So I started a community corner Facebook page. So I am the admin for that page in my community. So I mean, I know that mine's different, but I'm thinking maybe you could use a different concept to it. So my page is community-based. It's if you either live in the city or work in the city or have some kind of tie to this community, and you find a cat or you are looking for a babysitter or whatever, you can join my page. If you have a small business, you can advertise on my page, but I'm the admin. And so I'm the only realtor. Other realtors are allowed on my page, but they're not allowed to solicit business on my page. Whereas an artist, you could say, hey, it's Art Saturday, and every Saturday you might put a new piece of art up and try and attract business, right?
Yeah, that's it. Do you mean, what would the page be? Not all focused on art? Do you mean it'd be like more interiors or?
Well, maybe. What do you think, Brittany?
Well, I'm getting your idea. So we're talking about a group instead of a page, which when Facebook changed, this is going back a few years, but when they changed their algorithm, you'll probably notice in your feed, you get so many posts you see from groups you're in and a lot less from the business pages. So there is a reason to leverage that. I'm trying to think what, it could be something like if there isn't already one, like in the city or town where you are, something similar. So Claire's is Port Moody. So it's really anything that people that live in that community, they just join the group and they talk about whatever. So maybe it's something like that, or maybe it's more specific to art or people starting off in art. And of course, then you're going to get other artists, but maybe there's still a way to become like the leader in that space and helping people make connections. And then maybe they have some ideas to offer. Yeah, it's going to need some thought.
Because I find that I'm happy, like I can't take all the business anyways. So it's just like you, not everyone's going to like your art, right? But I find that there's power in working together in your own, and often, like I live in a village and people see me all the time, but they don't necessarily know I'm a realtor. And then their house goes up for sale and I'm like, oh my God, I talk to this person every day. How could they not know I'm a realtor? And so they might not know what you do, right?
Yeah.
So it's just using that creative side of your mind and thinking, how can I leverage this to work with others, or how do I get it out? Maybe there's already a community page in your village or wherever you live that you can say, hey, can I post once a week and say, this is what I do, or if you're looking for this or whatever.
Yeah, both of those ideas are good. And there are local groups that I could probably try and link up with. But I really like your idea about hosting a page, and possibly, I mean, it wouldn't even have to be location based for this area, because obviously I can Arts Nation, you know, I post all over the world. But I'm trying to think what, because obviously it's that thing of, for customers, it's always what's in it for me. And I think customers like nothing more than to talk about their new purchases or own homes or new things. So maybe I could invite, I don't know, the group to be sharing their new finds, or, you know, their new art, or something that way, where it gets customers engaged and wanting to talk about their own homes and things.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know.
There's a girl that lives just in Anmore, which is the village next door, and she's an artist as well. And she has, I think that I can get a link for you, but she might be a good person to even have a conversation with you. Her name, I mean, she's awesome, and she does like the farmers markets and whatnot as well. And she also has her own page, and yeah, so she's done quite well. And she's only taken it off in the last few years because she's got 4 kids and all the things going on too. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that'd be amazing if you gave me a link to look her up.
Sure.
Awesome. Yay, see connections. Amazing. I'm just gonna check how, I know Zoom cuts me off on the oh, we're still good. It cuts me off at 40 minutes. I just wanted to make sure we got through the strategies. Okay, so that was the first one for us. My second, I think, is gonna be, so because Claire's done one, she knows what they are. I'm offering these Pick My Brain sessions, which are an hour with me on Zoom, and people fill out a questionnaire first of what their marketing goals are, and then we just like dive in. I show whatever it is that they want to learn about. As long as I know about that piece of information, then I show them how we do things and different tools and give homework. So I think one of my goals, because I really enjoy doing that, I enjoy it more than the done for you social media plans that we have been doing the last 7+ years. I think my goal is going to be basically to increase those bookings. And then more specifically, my objective is going to be, even if I could do 1 a week of those, that would be awesome. So I'm going to put 4 per month. And my strategy, it's going to tie back to my first one, which is related to my email list. So it's just going to make sure that my call to action on every single email, which already is on the bottom, but is going to be to book a Pick My Brain session if someone needs help with their marketing. So that's my second one. And I guess while we're on the topic of email lists, I have to throw it in here just because of what's happening with all the social networks and people getting like accounts disabled. Like, I'm clearly not the only one. But if you haven't already embarked on a journey to try and grow your email list, please do. I know, Sally Ann, you mentioned you're starting that, and it's tough. It's easier said than done to just grow your list. Like, it's not a perfect science, right? But like, stay committed to that, because it's really the only piece that you'll ever own aside from your website, I guess. Like, you know, if Facebook decides or Instagram decides to disable your account tomorrow for whatever reason, it sucks because all your contacts are over there. So anyways, piece of advice. So that's my second. Claire, do you have a second that you want help fleshing out at all? It's okay, by the way, to have 1 or 2 that you're going to focus on, and then just have multiple strategies that support.
I think that like, I have a lead board of people that and I actually have a physical lead board of people's names and addresses or whatever, however I met them. So I guess it's just staying consistent and making those leads turn into clients, right? The client would be having them on your email list and having conversations with them. And then, turning from a lead into a client where they're actually working with you to, for me, purchase a house.
Yeah. So
And then the other thing is for them to keep you of top of mind so that when their aunt or neighbor is thinking of making a move that they think, oh, I know this girl
yeah,
named Claire. So
yeah. So that's awesome. We have the physical board because you can actually like look at your list all the time and pick up the phone or however you communicate with them. For the referral piece, I think your social will help too, but an email, do physical mail outs as well, I suppose, or letters, but an email list would really, really support you in that as well. Even if you do like a monthly, I thought you did a monthly newsletter at one point.
I was doing it, yeah.
Where, yeah, so, but it could be something like more like we're talking about with your social content. It has a more personal feel to it. You can still put market stats and whatever, but what's happening in Port Moody in your personal feel, and then just always a reminder, right? If you know anyone looking to buy, sell, invest, whatever your little, just,
Well, I think that you do that so well. The way you write and the way, the way you write in your emails, they're very warm and inviting, and they make, like for me anyways, I'm interested in the content that you share. And even with the adding saying, hey, if the first 10 people that respond to this, that come on the Zoom are going to get a surprise or whatever. I think those things all add up, right? You're grabbing different pieces of content. And just quickly, I just did this thing for the Rotary Club where my daughter got all these clothes, and then Brittany, thank you for helping that with the donations. But so basically, Sally Ann, we did this. There's 13 kids that are kind of living couch surfing while staying in school in the community in the school district, which is 3 different cities. And so my daughter took the initiative of doing like a clothing drive at her high school so that they were getting clothes that the kids would actually want to wear. And then I took on the side of trying to find people to donate either cash or gift cards or whatever, right? So we ended up doing very well. And but the first Facebook post I did on the community page, it was a picture of Sophie and I in our living room with all these clothes. And it was all a write-up. And I had about 15 women respond saying, I have this to donate, or I've got a check or whatever. And then a few days later, we did a video of us sitting at the kitchen table, and we talked about what we were doing. And I had 10 men respond, not one woman. And I thought, how interesting. Like, that just shows you the dynamics of how marketing can work and how women might be gravitating towards one type of response and men another. And it made me realize that I have to do both so that I can hit the majority.
Yeah, I guess it's like what you were just saying, Brittany, before, just making sure, like in your Facebook posts, just make sure you do one personal one every week. It's like throwing a video into your social content maybe once or twice a week of, just to make sure you're capturing different audiences, because people just respond to different things, don't they?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. There's also if the email list and how you talk about things and stuff is something that you guys are interested in, if you're familiar with, well, she's famous in the email space. Actually, I'm in her course right now, so I have the lessons up, but her name's Amy Porterfield, and it's not like a really expensive course. Anyways, it's called the List Builder Society, and she does go through like how to define this is the lesson I'm on, how to define your ideal customer avatar and how to write. So like the number one tip for writing your emails is whatever that ideal customer is. And I know that you have multiple different types of people that you can sell to or service, but it's picking one that you're talking to in your emails, and you almost have to like pretend like you're talking to your best friend. And it feels weird and silly when you first start writing them. Like for me, my emails were always used to be like very professional because I came from like running a marketing team for a national company where I was, I had to write content for people that were looking for mortgages. It was just not, anyways. But once I started to define like, I want to work with female entrepreneurs, ones like that are in the startup phase or a few years in, like really looking to kind of like dive into their strategies and figure this out. And I've started to figure out how would I, like, if I just picked up the phone and I was like, Claire, I want to go for a coffee with you and have a chat. Like, what are the things I would talk about and how would I talk to you? And that's what I put into the emails, almost like a journal. Yeah, anyway, it's really, really helped me.
Okay.
But if you're interested in learning more and really diving in, that course is really awesome. Where we were on the second, I think I'm gonna run out of time for the third, but I think you guys get the idea. I want to support you in this though. So if you do want to fill them out and send them to me after, I'm totally happy to provide some feedback or write in some more information or even put them into this nice template for you that you can print out. Let me just see, does Zoom tell me? Okay, it doesn't say it's cutting us off, so maybe we do have a few more minutes. Did you have your second one, Sally Ann?
Another avenue I'd like to start doing, I need to get some backlinks to my website. So I was considering writing some articles and starting to send them out to magazines and things.
Have you heard of a service called Haro, H-A-R-O?
No.
Oh my God, life-changing. Okay, so it's Haro, it's Help a Reporter Out. It's a free service. I'll show you the website. Did a webinar on this some time ago. This is how I get all of our PR. I think maybe I've showed you this, Claire, but it is definitely.
I don't think so.
Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see.
It may have gone in one ear and out the other.
Honestly, we send out so many tips that I wonder if people sometimes are like, okay, enough with the free websites.
My brain's full.
So when you go to it's called Haro, but helpareporter.com, click on I'm a source, obviously not a journalist, and you sign up for free emails one, 2 or 3 times a day. And what it does is it sends you an email of all different journalists and publications that are looking for people to provide content or quotes. So I do the 3 times a day and I just scan it. And if there's anything that's applicable that, might say like, tell me your story about your first 6 months in business. Oh, okay. And then it gives you an email address where to send it to. With any PR, there's no guarantee, of course, but it's just part of my habit. Every morning I scan them. If there's anything relevant, I take, maybe it's half an hour of my morning and I send stuff off. I would say we get featured like at least 50% of the time when we send these things out.
Wow, perfect. I'll check that out. Thank you.
Yeah, so that might be, and same for you, Claire. They do often have sometimes it's American, but looking for people to comment in the real estate investing space as well. So that would be really useful. And then, oh my gosh, do we have time to squeeze in the third one? I'm excited. I haven't even planned this. I should have written mine out before. So I've got my subscribers and increased my Pick My Brain sessions. And then I think my third one will relate to our Done For You social clients. So obviously the lofty goal is to eventually have 20 of those a month so that we're supporting that income goal. I think our strategy is really going to fall back again to my email list and the session. So before we used to, and we do get people that go to our website and say, I want your content plan silver. Like it does happen, but it's not often. It's usually after we've had conversations or done sessions like this. And then down the road, someone says, oh, I've grown to this size. I want someone to just handle my social for me now. And that's when they turn into those clients. But I think what I would really like to do is use those Pick My Brain sessions almost to like vet our clients and then have like an invite only into our Done For You social plan. So that's kind of, I'm not sure how I'm going to word that, but that's going to be my third one. Because a struggle for us, and it's not with every client, but with many clients, they think they know what they want with their social, but once they get into it, it becomes clear either like they should still be doing this themselves or they're not ready, or there's just different things. So I think if we really use the Pick My Brain sessions to figure out what their real goals are, it will support them better. And like, is this a fit for them, or should we teach them how to kind of do it themselves? So that's going to be my third one. Matthew's out. Claire, do you have a third one? You've got your first one was your brand awareness, and your second was your leads/referral follow-up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess I just want to be known as someone that's educated in what I do, so that I'm competent
Yeah.
So I guess that would be more of an objective.
Yeah, you could have it still supports your first one of your awareness and your personal brand. It's I would say your goal would be something like expert positioning, maybe is how we would word it, and like to become a thought leader in your space. It's going to overlap with your objective, but and then your strategies are going to be that's like how are you going to position yourself as the expert? Still could be through your email list. Your social content obviously supports that. Talking about if you can find people to partner with, like was it Sharon that you used to do the mortgage videos with, things like that, where you're partnering, like you have a realtor and a mortgage broker and you're talking about the market and doing videos, like those things really position you as the expert, and leveraging them again, like those videos, just because you've shared it once doesn't mean you can't share it again. Like those videos were great that you did with Sharon, and we haven't recycled those for you in quite some time.
Okay.
Putting them on your website too, if your website has the ability to be able to add those to a blog will help too.
And if there's any like speaking opportunities in your area, or what I've found useful recently, I've been invited to a few like women in business, like small entrepreneurial groups. So you could advertise yourself to be a speaker. You know, that especially now at the moment, everybody's looking for guest speakers to come on because, you know, everybody's at home with, you know, the pandemic. So it might be an opportunity for you to just say you could come on and, you know, talk about your business and how you started and stuff. And it's just a chance to meet other women on a face-to-face level sort of thing.
Right. That sounds good.
The other thing I was thinking of, we did one of these for a realtor client actually like pre-pandemic, and he recorded it and uses it like a piece of evergreen or ongoing marketing. But instead of his face-to-face first-time homebuyer seminars, we did it like this. We helped him set up a Zoom. So he had a series of emails and posts like, hey, if you want to buy your first home and you want to know the ins and outs, jump on the Zoom, ask your questions live. And that was like, it was useful for people like me with a bunch of young kids. Because like, man, to go to a first-time homebuyer seminar, obviously our first home's long gone, but investing in new properties, for an example, I have to get a babysitter for all 4 of them, and then do this and get there. So I thought the Zoom was awesome to just jump on and be able to ask questions. So depending on who you want to target with the sessions, that could be, I know it's tricky with the first-time homebuyers because the time from when they start thinking about it to when they maybe qualify and are ready, like it's a long process typically, but maybe for rental property investing, if you do any of that, I feel like that could be
for sure
people are into. Yeah. And did you have a third one, Sally
Ann? Wow. I've got many. There is the other option. I've started working with other artists one-on-one, so one-to-one. So I might, those power hours are really popular, like you were saying, your pick your brains hour. So I don't know, I'm up in the air. I just feel like I've got more like bigger fish to fry with my other things about growing my email list and like creating the content for my website.
Yeah. Keep that maybe on the back burner for you.
Yeah. I'm going to try and work quarterly next year. So I'm giving myself like 12 weeks per project. So hopefully I can tick a few of these off the list in the first quarter, and then I'll drop down to the others.
Yeah. Awesome. Yay. Okay. Well, before Zoom cuts us off, then I guess I'll wrap it up. If you guys do want to send that to me, please do feel free. I'll put that into the template for you like I promised. And Sally Ann, I'll have to send you, because you jumped on too, I sent everyone that signed up a little Starbucks gift card. So if you email me, I'll send you that.
Amazing. Thank you. And this is the first time I've joined you, so thanks. I've been getting your emails for I don't know how long. So it's good you did.
Did you sign up on our website? I'm always curious to know how people found us.
Oh gosh, it was so long ago, honestly.
Are you in the Female Entrepreneur Association?
Yes, maybe it was through that.
From there, once I had posted our content calendar, which is a spreadsheet. People were posting looking like, oh, how do you map out your social content? Anyways, and so I posted a screenshot of it's a Google sheet And I said, I know we're not allowed to sell in here, but like if this is useful for anyone, let me know. And I had it was crazy, like 200 and something comments.
Do you know what? I think I still have that sheet.
It's probably where it was, because people were like, I want it. And I said, okay, but you're on our email list, just so you know. So, oh, amazing. Well, thank you for participating and joining me. I really appreciate that. And it's so cool to have someone from like not even where we are. It's so neat.
And maybe you can forward email or whatever, and then I can hook you up with Tammy.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
Perfect.
And I'll make sure the recording's up on the website today. If there's anything else you need in the article, I'll be sending out the actual kind of how-to, but you guys get the gist of it. So awesome. Thanks for joining.
Great. Bye.
Have a great week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.